Hi, I'm Lynn.
And I'm Erica.
And we're with AccuQuilt.
We are here today to show you how to put together our new mosaic triangle quilt that you see hanging behind us. It is made with our new Bullseye nested equilateral triangle dies and our Bullseye nested hexagon dies as well.
Yeah, so it's great that the hexagons and the equilateral triangles are designed to coordinate together. So those of you, like Erica, that already have the hexagon dies.
Now you need the equilateral triangle dies because it's going to give you endless design possibilities for your projects.
That's right, and we all know hexagons are hot, right?
They are. In all sizes too.
That's right. So, speaking of which, okay, one of the great things, this is not the hexagon, but the equilateral triangle. This is the smallest size. It's a 1-inch finished. Is that absolutely adorable?
We love it.
We do love it. I talk about it all the time.
She does. It's Lynn's favorite.
So I also wanted to point out that there is a pattern online that you can download from AccuQuilt.com for the mosaic triangle quilt. And we wanted to show that there are very detailed illustrations with the diagrams here to show you how to put this quilt together, because it's quite easy, but we wanted to make sure that you follow this.
If you follow the directions, I'm terrible at following directions, but this is one you want to follow the directions, because if you do, it's going to make it really easy for you to put it together. No Y seams and all straight seams. It'll go together really quickly for you.
That's right. So let's get started. We're going to cut hexagon first to show how that works. And with Bullseye dies, you get a set of blade boards and a set of foam boards. So the blade boards have the blade, which does the cutting, and foam boards have no blade. And this is what's used to stabilize your fabric. So this quilt is created with a 3-inch finished hexagon, and we measure that by the side edge. So you put that in your tray, and we have a little tip for Bullseye.
Right, we like to say foam blade foam.
Right, so foam blade foam. So you want to make sure that you fill the center with the foam boards, and then you also want to take the next largest size of that foam board and place it on the outside. So you've got your foam blade foam. So next we'll put the fabric on top.
Right, and when you're doing your fabric, you're going to want your selvage edge to travel into your roller. We don't have a selvage on here, well, kind of. But the way that I was always taught was to pull your fabric, and where you have the give, that's not the selvage edge. It's going to be the tight one. So this is the way we're going to want it to travel through the roller, and that foam blade foam is going to stabilize it so that we get a perfect cut every time.
Okay, great tip. So we'll put our fabric on top, and you can cut up to 10 layers as with all studio dies on here. We're just going to cut one for now. And with the Bullseye, you want to make sure that you slide your die down into this lower corner, and then put your cutting plastic on top. And then we'll roll it through.
And remember, with your cutting plastic, you can move that around side to side and use both the front and the back of it to prolong the life of that.
I'll hand you that perfect
We've
hexagon.
got our perfect hexagon right here, ready to go.
Okay, so I'm going to move those out. And then next we're going to cut the equilateral triangles.
Right.
Okay, so again we need the 3-inch finished. This is, again, the triangles are measured by the finished, on the side by the finished side. And then with triangles too, we designed these to have dog-eared corners.
Right.
And also notches on 2 of the sides for easy piecing.
Yeah, and that's a great time saver because you don't have to pin that way. They'll line up perfectly for you. You don't have to clip those edges either.
That's right. So we'll set that in our tray. I do want to point out there are notches on 2 of the sides. Those 2 you want to face into the roller, okay? And then
foam blade foam.
Foam blade foam. So we'll fill the center with our foam, and then foam on the outside. And then we put our fabric on top.
Fabric on top. And again, you're going to want to check the selvage so that it heads into the rollers. And I already did that for us.
Right. And this we've got with our equilateral triangles, we have right sides together because we're going to be able to take these right off of the cutter and go right to the sewing. So we'll place that here. And we're going to slide this into the lower corner. Now with the triangles, you want to just rotate it slightly at an angle and then have 2 sides of the board touching 2 sides of the tray. And then our cutting mat, roll that through. There we go.
Okay, that'll work. Now the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and finish this piece off because we want a white one on either side. So I am going to take a white triangle And I'm going to go ahead and sew that on. And you can see with those dog ears, again, I'll try to rotate it there, that they're going to fit perfectly in that corner. We do design our dies with a standard 1/4 inch seam allowance so that you know you're going to get your perfect seam allowance every time.
And this quilt is designed with units. So you just build these individual units and then sew them together straight seams with no Y seams.
Exactly. So that finishes that piece. And then I'm going to show how easy it is to put some of those triangles together.
Right.
And we had those notches, again, the notches and the dog ears are matched up. Lynn, this is a great chance to do some chain piecing and get these done in a hurry. And I'm going to take advantage of that as well and have these lined up and ready to go through.
Okay, so you cut all of your hexagons out at the same time, cut all of your triangles out at the same time, lay out all your shapes, and then you can piece the units together, piece the units together, sew the units together, sew your rows together. That's what we're doing here. And then in between the rows with the hexagons and the triangles,
you're going to build some what I'd almost call sashing strips.
right.
So these are going to go in between, and this is how you're going to avoid those Y seams.
Right, there you go.
It's going to go right together between your rows like that, so that then you're ready for your next row after that.
And again, this is all illustrated on the pattern, so very easy and quick to do.
It really is, yeah.
Right, so again, I'm going to mention, go to AccuQuilt.com and download the pattern, and also,
while you're there, be sure to check our blog for more information. You can also find us on Facebook, Pinterest, and Instagram.
right, and every quilter knows that
Better cuts
make better quilts.